there anyone in need of a copy of the liturgy? There's some on both bookshelves in the back room. Is there anyone in here? There's 4 empty seats up towards the front. If anyone is inclined, we need beings to fill space here. It'd be nice to leave the back for latecomers.
So first of all, good morning to all of you, and welcome especially to those who are here for the first time. Today is our usual schedule, which will include an hour of, or a little less than an hour of meditation with some brief instruction. Then we have a break. And then a period of open discussion. So of course I hope you can all stay for the full time, which will take us up to just about 11 o'clock. And during the discussion, there are a couple of things regarding our practice that I would like to engage you all in. So our first order is the recitation of the refuge prayer. And just a couple of words about it. The first sentence reads, "Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. When we say all beings, we mean immeasurable, unbounded, infinite, uncountable, sentient beings, human and non-human. In order to give rise to that sense of unboundedness, we first must seed in our own mind streams the sense of complete equanimity, embracing the inherent seed of goodness in all beings, so that the wish can come from our hearts. The sources of true refuge are Well, first of all, it's our own inherent true nature, the awakening mind itself. And when we say refuge in the Buddha, we are referencing that awakening mind itself as the Buddha. Sometimes we think of the Buddha as an historical figure, and other times we think of the Buddha in other ways, such as the awakening mind itself. And then finally we say, I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding, which references the meditation we'll do this morning. The next line is of some significant interest. Having said, I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding, then we have in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. This sentence embodies the most important single principle in the entire Mahayana Buddhist tradition. And that principle is called bodhicitta, which includes two pieces. One, we intend to completely remove the causes of suffering in our own being on the one hand, and the second part of it is that we aspire to accomplish that same freedom for all other beings. So the aspiration in its totality is to attain complete enlightenment so that we can be a force to lead sentient beings to the same result. So we'll begin this morning by reciting this short liturgy 3 times together.
Till the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness. Until the summit of enlightenment is reached, I and all beings go for refuge to the sources of true refuge. I will now practice the absorption of calm abiding in order to release all beings from their particular suffering and establish them in lasting peace and happiness.
As most of you know, there are many ways to engage in the practice of calm abiding. The object of calm abiding is to train the mind develop the skill of allowing the mind to settle naturally without distraction, and so this morning I thought maybe a practice that we haven't done for a while together could be the simple counting of one's breath. It's a simple practice and effective. Even this simple practice has a number of variations, but we'll skip that for now. The object here is to rest the mind on the movement of the breath, our inhalations and exhalations. And traditionally, we count the breaths, the inhalations, though one can also count the exhalations. So we begin by just gently exhaling, not with force, almost as if we didn't even intend to exhale, but we just saw it happen. And then the same on the inhalation, the body will inhale on its own, even if we don't intend to. And so the best way to count the breaths is to count the first inhalation at its peak when we've finished the movement of air coming in. We count it as 1. And we don't count the exhalation. We count the second inhalation as 2. And so on up through 21. The practice is most effective if we relax and move more into the place of witnessing our breath rather than engaging in breathing intentionally, which we almost never do. That said, you'll just do the best you can. And when you finish 21, you just begin another round, and probably you won't finish exactly at the place where we stop. That also doesn't matter. short stretch if you feel like it.
may I quickly realize Mahamudra and establish all beings without exception in this state.
So we'll take a break now, and with this many people, it's probably a 15-minute deal, and there's a bathroom upstairs, right across the hall, and one down the basement also, as well as one in the back of the kitchen. So take your time, and we'll ring the bell in 10 or 15 minutes.
A few announcements. Can you hear me in the front?
Yes.
So 2 quick announcements from me. One, a reminder that the Young Adult Meditators group meets the first Friday of every month, which is coming up this Friday. We have a 2-hour session from 7 to 9 p.m. We have a different theme each month. This month I think our theme is self as friend, self as enemy. And it's a discussion and support group. We do a little 15-minute sit and then we chat. So personally, I like being a part of any group that still considers me young, so that's why I attend, but you're welcome to join us if you are self-identified as young. There's no actual age parameters. And then the other announcement is the sit-a-thon. Linda's not here today, so she asked me to make an announcement. So the sit-a-thon is the first Saturday of the, is it Labor Day?
Yep.
Weekend, September 3rd. And if you haven't heard much about it, so very briefly, a sit-a-thon is like a marathon, but instead of running your butt off, we are sitting on our butts. So we're sitting publicly at Grant Park. And there's kind of a 2-pronged purpose for this event. The first is just sheerly public sitting, hoping that the public will join us, hoping your friends and family will join us, just for the benefit of all beings, the benefit of their joining us, is just to raise awareness about the benefits of meditation and share that with others. And then the other piece of this is it is the year's fundraiser for KCC. So we're looking for participation on a lot of different levels. If you can help that day and volunteer, talk to me. We could use your help for half an hour, 5 hours, whatever piece of that you're able to do. We're looking for people to sit just to increase our mass. We're looking for people to raise pledges for KCC for sitting. So if you have friends or family that might pledge, a penny a minute or $1 a minute for you to sit, we're gathering money before the event as, again, the main fundraiser for KCC for the year. So if you have any interest in any little piece of that you might be able to help with, we need help with decoration, we need help with decoration ideas. So even if you think you could just throw some brain energy at this, we could really use your help. So you can feel free to talk to me or Jennifer Cox or Linda Besant, and we're hoping to make this a big deal. So,
and when is that again?
The Saturday of Labor Day weekend, so September 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
If somebody can do the getting pledges part, there's packets in the foyer, and you're supposed to take one and sign your
Sign it out.
name.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
even if you just get a couple $100 of
Yeah.
pledges, it will really help. The more people who
Yeah,
do
this
it.
event is costing us a little bit of money, so we're hoping to really, spread the word and do what we can to increase that.
So I have a question. So I worked that weekend, but if you wanted to help collect pledges, that wouldn't be for me sitting, What would that look like?
Yeah, there's a couple, so a lot of people have said they might be out of town that weekend, so you can ask your friends and family to pledge someone who is sitting, so just, there's a long list of people who are sitting, I'll be there sitting, so ask people to pledge for someone who will be sitting that day, or just to pledge for the event, for the group of sitters,
okay.
however, you can kind of frame it, whatever
Right.
feels most true for you. And then we actually aren't collecting money the day of the event at the park, so we're asking people, even if you can't be there that day, all the monies we're hoping to gather before the event, because there's some park rules about if you gather money at the park, you have to pay a certain type of permit versus we're not gathering money at the park permit, which is separate and much smaller cost. So that was the decision that we made. So we are asking that no money comes to the park, but that we gather it all prior to that. So young adult group, first Friday of the month, that's this coming Friday, and the sit-a-thon on September 3rd. And I'm happy to chat more about any of that. I've taken enough time, so thank you.
It's going okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying sick.
Ah,
I want